Hey, Brian from Garage Mahal. Today I have the MyCloud Home Dual, and this is the 16 tetrabyte drive that they have for basically making your own cloud storage. And I primarily got this because I make a lot of videos, and video takes up a lot of room. And on top of it, I've actually lost some videos that I've recorded just because I don't have a good area to store them all. So I'm using like thumb drives, or I'm kind of like just like moving it back and forth between laptop and my main PC. So anyway, I was looking for a place I could centralize everything, and this system, it's actually two 8 terabyte drives. So you have an 8 terabyte and an 8 terabyte. It has the ability to RAID, or basically make real-time copies of whatever you're storing on the drive. So basically, you'll have an 8-inch, you'll have an 8 terabyte drive that you can store all your data on, and then it'll make another backup copy of that. So if you have a power failure in the middle of recording or backing something up, or if you make a copy and one of the drives happens to die or get corrupted, you still have another whole backup of that. The other great thing about this too is, like, on the back of it, it basically goes over fast, easy mobile setup, centralize everything, access anywhere. So that was something I was looking for as well, because I do a lot of editing on the road, and I'd like to be able to send this to my own personal cloud for safety and security reasons, on top of having a backup on top of a backup. So anyhow, let's open up, see what we actually get inside. I'm pretty excited about setting this up, and I wasn't sure what actually came in the drive itself, because there was a lot of vagueness, I guess, on the site for this. But anyway, so I mean, that's your box, and then this is basically your view of it all the way around. And like I said, it took me, honestly, it took me about 3 months to finally decide on getting this one. So in the box, you get like a welcome card, and then it's going to give you basically like your security ID on the back. I'm not going to obviously show that to you. And then let's pull out this box on the side and see what we get in there. Let's put that off here for a quick second. So that is your power cord. Comes with a couple other little things in here. So this is your warranty guide. Put that right back in the box for safekeeping. The other part of your power supply. So you get a decent amount of cord with the power supply that's included. So just to kind of give you an idea. I'm going to install this very shortly, so we will open this up. So, I mean, you get a pretty generous cord on that side, and then you'll get a pretty generous length of cord on this side as well. So it looks like this is even longer. This is probably about 6 foot on this side. I guess that we can probably measure. So, for plug-in purposes. So this end of the cord is about 39 inches to the power supply. And then it's stretching all the way out. And I can't see that far, so we're gonna bring that in. So that was about 5 foot on that side. So you get a decent length of cord. And then this is included. This is your included cable, Ethernet cable. And I am actually pleasantly surprised, because I don't remember reading this in the description, that it came with a. I mean, it's kind of small, but hey, whatever. So it's about a 4 foot patch cable. So if you mount this close to a router, you'll be good to go. And I am I'm actually probably not mounting it close to my router, believe it or not. It's probably going to be on the other side of the room. So I need a little bit more of a cable than that, but again, most people absolutely will be mounting that too. And we can throw some stuff in the box out of the way. These cords, I'm going to have to keep that 3-off pass, and then our IDs. Okay, so this is the unit itself. I'm going to try really hard not to bounce it on my studio desk here. As I try to make everything fit back in the box. Just for the neatness of it all. So that's your drive. So it's not huge. It's not small. It has some decent sized pads underneath, so you'll get decent airflow going through the unit. And that is your Ethernet. That is your power cord. Your power cord goes in. And then it has 2 slots for USB. So I'm curious to see if, when I plug this in, if I can plug it directly into my tower, which would be like really cool. And then how it connects to the network, like how the network will work with basically hooking up to this. And it does have a fan. It's kind of hard to see, but there is a fan in there. Oh yeah, you can probably see it from the forward view. So it's got a fan, so it'll keep everything nice and cool. So I would imagine you probably have to blow this out every like 6 months or something, just to kind of get all that, you know, any of that dirt and debris and dust and stuff flying around your room. For cleaning. I don't see how this can easily be opened either. Not that I am going to do that, but at some point it's probably going to have to be cleaned. Oh, and it looks like this is the power button here. It's kind of like really slightly put into the trim. But anyway, I'm going to go hook this up, and I'm going to post this video, and then we'll see in a few days how it looks. If I have any updates or anything, I'll update everybody out there. But other than that, Brian from Garageable Hall, thanks for watching, and be safe out there. Okay, so I have this hooked up, and these are a couple things I tried doing over the last 24 hours. Just to kind of give you an idea. Okay, so I hooked this into one of my wireless routers. Okay, I thought I'd be able to transfer a lot of files quickly. Doing it that way, it was kind of set up as a wireless network hub. So I plugged it into that wireless router, and it was super slow. I mean, I kind of knew that. I was kind of expecting it. How slow? It was telling me it was going to take 24 hours a day to transfer 1 tetrabyte of data over onto this drive. So I was like, all right, that's probably not going to work. So I ended up canceling, stopping, pausing the transfer. Okay, that was probably a mistake, and why that was a mistake is I'll tell you in a second. So I disconnected this drive, and I put it onto my surprise. Actually, I had an open line that was right next to my main Ethernet hub. So everything was wired coming out of my main tower into this, then onto my wireless network. So up until that point, I was getting maybe half a meg to 1 meg a second, so it was going to take forever. After I hooked it directly into my Ethernet network onto my main router, things started moving. Then I was getting 78 to 100 megabytes per second. I was able to transfer a large amount of video files. Since I do videos, I was able to transfer a large amount of video files within minutes, which was great. And I had it on a default rate section of this. Now, any file that I was in the midst of transferring would not transfer. And what I mean is I had one video, we'll just call it, I forget what video it actually was. I think it was, it was a knife block that had different knives and stuff in it. It was maybe a 10-minute video, but I could not transfer it. So a trick to this is what I did was I ended up calling a making a new file, and I called it Video Storage File 2, number 2. I transferred everything from my video transfer file, where I was putting all my videos. I transferred everything that was there into the second file, the file 2. Then I went back and I was able to transfer that one knife block video that basically just got like hung up, and it just wouldn't transfer no matter what I tried. It just like would freeze. It would go to like 2 to 3% and then totally frozen. So that is a workaround for a little bit of a quirk that I found on this. So you know, don't fret. There's tricks around some of this stuff. I also experienced a power failure. I did have this on a backup battery, which I absolutely 100% recommend putting this on a UPS system, a backup battery. This stayed on. However, my main tower was on a backup battery. I would get 1 to 3 minutes, enough to kind of get through those little power glitches. However, the power was off for about 5 minutes. So my tower was powering down, but was in the middle of transferring a file. Same thing happened. That file got kind of hung up in limbo, and I had to do basically the same thing. I had to make a file 3, transfer everything from file 2 into file 3, and then I was able to transfer that like as almost like orphaned file onto a drive. So that was some quick workarounds. Rename a file, copy your files into that one, and it will like help with the progress of that. It also makes some temporary files in the file folder that you may or may not see, and that temporary file, it waits till all of your file gets transferred into the temporary transfer, checks it real quick, and then it will basically, if you did a move, it'll basically delete it off your main computer, save it here, file intact, but it makes sure that it does a complete transfer. So if you have a power outage on your main computer, your laptop, something in the air, and it gets hung up on it, be assured that it will still be on your computer unless it's been checked and verified before it moves on to the MyCloud. And if it doesn't, and for some reason you go to try to retransfer that file and it gets hung up, just rename a file, transfer everything that's in that file content into the new file, then try transferring that file back in. I don't know what that glitch is, but that was my workaround for it. Absolutely, I love it now, even though it's been basically, it's under 48 hours that I've had this. I just like the fact that now I have a RAID available to me, so I have 2 drives that I can split, make a carbon copy of everything, operate off of this, and I'm actually recording as I'm transferring a lot of files off my Mac onto this, onto connected to my main Windows tower. Just give you some insight of how I'm using this, but I love it. The speed is where it should be, and in the beginning I was like in a little bit of a panic because I was like, did I buy the wrong product? But I believe I bought the right product. But anyhow, that's my update. That's some of my quick tricks, and I don't know. Bye from Garage Mahal. Be safe out there.